Right, that is up on the Tomb Bells.
Woo! The blue hell site.
The Tomb Bells. Yeah, we'll go with normal. I want to experience all the Nemesis system has to offer.
You want to have a guy like that unkillable bastards, don't you?
Yeah. I want my own Stakuga the Unkillable.
This is beautiful.
So, I buried them along with everyone I even knew.
Oh, this is a flashback.
Yeah, yeah.
Vanished from death. Cast adrift between the worlds of light and dark. You are bound together, Tally. My life and yours. Who are you, Wraith? I shaped the history of Middle-earth. I crafted the rings of power. Greatest smith of the Second Age. Sauron deceived you into making the rings. He tortured both you and your king. Perhaps that pain was not in excess. I should have died with my family. I thought you wanted revenge. There is only one way to close the circle. To defeat Sauron. The time has come.
It'd be a lot more dramatic if I had any idea what the hell was going on.
I think Talion is like a ranger of Gondor whose family was killed by like an orc raid, and he somehow meets Celebrimbor, who was the person who forged the Rings of Power. And Celebrimbor is like, hey, someone tortured and killed me after we made these rings. We should team up.
And Duday was just like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, basically.
Fires of Mount Doom. A ranger and a wraith bound together in death. Craft the one thing that could challenge the Dark Lord. A ring of power.
Okay, so like, they've crafted a Ring of Power in Mount Doom, but why on earth did Sauron let them get there? It's right on his doorstep.
The future I have seen cannot come to pass.
Sorry, did Sauron ever, like, did any of us think that he's any, like, do you think he's bright? Because I don't think he's bright.
He's pretty good. He's the most accomplished blacksmith in Middle-earth.
He's a giant flaming eye.
I mean, it's dubious as to whether he's actually a giant flaming eye, but...
He chooses to represent himself in film as a giant flaming eye.
That doesn't mean he's not smart. But if anything, that just means he has really bad conjunctivitis.
Let's leave this place. We can go.
He gets defeated by 2 hobbits.
That's not fair. But,
Don't tell me it's not true, though.
they put in a lot of hard work to get to this mountain, Frodo and Sam. And they could only do it because Aragorn was playing mind games with Sauron and launched an attack on the Black Gate.
The Human King. He was initially defeated by Isildur. Isildur!
Isildur got lucky. I wanted to see if I could switch on subtitles.
Why does everybody in this fucking series put their rings on, like, the least interesting finger?
I didn't know you had such strong opinions about which fingers were interesting.
Okay, like, ring finger, marriage, obviously, but middle finger, that's like where you put your Green Lantern power rings. Why does everybody in this fucking franchise put them on their indexes? That's the finger you use to go down an index.
Okay, subtitles.
Oh, speaking of weird choices, did you hear that Robert Mugabe was picked as the ambassador for the World Health Organization?
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction to that? Mine was, what?
I was quite surprised.
Oh, Mugabe is...
These orbs are
He's shit.
He has an unfortunate tendency of, you know, murdering people, which, I mean, I don't know what the World Health Organization's priorities are, but I feel like people not dying is probably fairly high on their list of priorities.
Didn't he also, like, take all the land off the white farmers in Zimbabwe and then handed it over to a bunch of people who didn't actually know how to run farms because they're not... Like, running a farm is difficult, and these people were, like, normal people who had never run a farm before.
Yeah.
Like, and he didn't, like, get in people to train them or anything. He was just like, here, have a farm, it must be easy. And you're like, you fucking bureaucratic shitbag.
Yeah, I gather that the reason he's been made an ambassador is because he established a universal healthcare type system for Zimbabwe, but I also gather that that universal healthcare system isn't very good. Right? The NHS, it ain't.
Oh, I heard it's massively underpaying its staff.
Yeah.
Not sure why you'd think forging a ring in the middle of a fucking volcano would be a good idea to begin with.
I don't know. Mount Doom is clearly magical in some way, although I don't actually know how, even though I'm sure Tolkien is one of these
did
things.
Sauron and what's-his-face, like, when they made these rings, did they, like, know that throwing it back into Mount Doom would be a surefire way of breaking them?
I don't think Sauron was in Mordor at the time, so he might not have known. But I mean, it's fairly common knowledge that if you throw them into Mount Doom, they'll melt because Mount Doom is just really fucking hot.
I thought it was because that's where they were made.
No, they're made in Numenor. Oh wait, no. were they forged in Mount Doom? Because I now feel like I've heard someone say before, forged in the fires of Mount Doom.
Yeah, that would be Gandalf who said that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check.
Oh, hey, there's our ghost friend.
I think most of the Rings of Power were forged in Numenor, and the One Ring was forged in Mount Doom. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Celebrant Door makes the Rings of Power, and Sauron makes the One Ring. The other rings can be destroyed by dragonfire. Why is she not sexy?
I can kind of understand why Shelob might want to take on a human form. Because, like, yeah, a giant spider is compelling, Jim Sterling, but I'm hardly going to stick around and have a conversation with one. But, like, if anything, if I was her, I'd probably, like, I don't know, base myself on the nearest person to me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I'd just de-girl him, I guess. Except maybe with an extra set of eyes. Wait, was he just like, I have given up on everything, and she's like, no you fucking haven't. Your friend's right there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't engrave rings by, like, banging them on an anvil. Put pressure on the wound.
Fight is not here. The ring is lost. Look, Minas, in the dark moon's eyes, that's
Okay, so when she's in spider form, like, what does that ring go on to? It's just around one of her legs.
all of Middle Earth is dominated.
The land here must be protected.
She's just gonna be human for the rest of the fucking time. Okay, was I meant to take this whole, he must mean something to you, as being as shippy as it came across?
I mean, it can't be that shitty. One of them is
Because-
Ghost.
Yeah, but... Yeah, you know, shipping, like, romantic relationships are more about just sex, dog.
But he Ghost.
Yeah, he's a ghost and he's literally inside Talion. What do you want from me?
Ghost, man.
The spiders showed us the truth. Gondor's last fortress in Mordor cannot fall.
Palantir is our concern. We must seize it before it falls into Sauron's hands. With it, his armies will be unstoppable. Freedom city matters not.
I will not let them be sought by those who like it. We need to do something. Taking up a captain should buy the Gondorians some time.
And they could lead us to the Palantir.
Is he arguing with his boyfriend again?
Yeah, his boyfriend is like, we need the Palantir, which we can't really use, and he's like, yeah, that we like need to like not have this city fall. And his boyfriend is like, no, no.
Oh, like a worm means an orc, right? Like you worm. Like it's a low-level orc, not a literal worm.
Yeah, I presume so.
He's just a fucking butcher.
Captain leading the surge is in the lower city.
Then he will go no further.
Honestly, Mordor looks lovely this time of year.
Oh, we're in Mordor.
Yeah,
People live in Mordor.
yeah.
Why?
It looks lovely this time of year.
Oh, come on.
I thought he was dead. He is.
Okay, I like the big pink guy. He is! It's how I presume he sounded, because that's what he looked like.
It doesn't look good for the Gondorians. We have to help.
I get a feeling that J.R.R. Tolkien would agree with me that these two are fucking shippy. You know, as for Sheila, I could, like, accept if she was started off, like, monstrous and weird and then became more human over time. Just maybe because she's been in a human form more often and has been interacting with people more often. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, hey, look, a rat. Oh, 2 rats.
Yeah, it's just Rat City over here.
I like how they actually go for you whilst you're fighting others. None of that dancing around in a group whilst you wait for the hero to take out each of your mates in turn. Over here.
Woo, more arrows. Why do we even need to get arrows? Our arrows are all, like, apparently ghost arrows anyway.
Like, do you have to use the ghost of arrows in your ghost bow when you're a
Yes.
ghost? I love it.
But also there's a limit to how many ghost arrows we can carry, even though they're not real.
I'm not convinced that makes much sense.
We only have so much space in our ghost quiver.
Maybe what's his face just isn't that strong. Ghost boyfriend. I wasn't paying attention. Is ghost boyfriend an elf?
Yeah.
It's difficult for me because I'm playing so much Dragon Age and the elves and that have ridiculously sticky out ears. Which is cute as fuck, but you know. Really sticky out ears. It's kind of excessive.
Oh, hey, ghost arrows. We could use some more of those.
How can ghost arrows hurt corporeal orcs?
I don't know. Hey, Darsco. We're just over here playing Microtransactions for game. It's good. I'm enjoying it so far. We've
We haven't run into any
Met.
microtransactions yet, that's why.
Well, we did meet that one orc who was like, "Do you wanna buy some arrows?" And we were like, "Oh, wow, cool. How much do they cost?" And he was like, £5. And we were like, well, "That's not even the currency of this world." And he was like, £5. No
That's a
one
good
told me
question. How
Guru
can
the Tyrant was arrow proof.
You must have that hat that makes you arrow proof from Final Fantasy Tactic Advance.
Puckle.
Fucking arrow proof!
How is he arrow proof? The arrows aren't even real.
I think it's because he's got armour on. I mean, that would make sense. The rest of them seem to be half naked.
But they're ghost arrows.
Maybe it's magic ghost armour. You know, one day I might stream yesterday just so you can see the point where I've laughed the hardest in my entire life. I laughed so hard I swore I could taste blood. It was amazing.
Which bit was that?
It was the bit where you meet not Nicole for the first time. Next thing you know, you're waking up in bed next to her, asking if it was good for her too. And this is after the social faux pas of asking to see her father, who turned out to be dead.
Okay, so apparently someone else killed Gur the Tyrant before we could.
I like him.
Why are you up here?
My raiding party was trapped in the lower city.
I do want to make like.
Not
So is that a woman or a teenage boy? Or a teenage girl? I think it's a
Woman, I
girl.
think.
See things still stand.
She looks like a girl, not a woman.
to lose the little city ranger.
Looks like she's about 16 years old.
They haven't told us.
She does look quite young.
We need to get up there as fast as we can.
Wait. What is your name?
Idra,
Go.
don't fall behind, Talia. We've lost enough men today. Do you hear that, Ranger? They're closing the gate.
And let's cut her back up there.
Sergeant Tarrandor's going to need our help. Let's move.
Yeah, I don't know either. But yeah, I do want to do a like fully edited, properly written review of yesterday. So I might just I might let's play that just so I can get all the footage I need for it. Because playing it by myself is boring.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's a good game.
Like yesterday, no, it wasn't.
It's a good game. It's a game.
This is just like Shooter's vision.
And the protagonist looks like if Solus got ear surgery, a wig, and a tan. His cheekbones are that insane. It looks like he'd kill a man with them. It's amazing.
He has like 60% cheekbones.
It's ridiculous. Like, even for point-and-click adventure games, it's a bit shit because, like, gameplay-wise, because the it's a port from an iPhone game.
Ah, Fate Extella. That's also a game. Also a game you wouldn't really call good. For very different
It exists.
reasons. Yeah, it exists. People can play it if they're so inclined. I'm not wholly sure why anybody would be.
Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about on Steam. You know, I was kind of half joking, but he kind of does look like Solus.
See, honestly, I live for this fantasy sieges shit in video games. Pointed look at Dragon Age.
considering how much the game is just like, oh yeah, you can upgrade Skyhold. You're like, shit, better upgrade it just in case I get attacked. But you never do. You never do. And it's also, it's not like Corypheus doesn't know where you live. Everyone knows where you live. That's how he found you in Haven. So there's one thing I've learned is that the people in Thedas can't keep a fucking secret to save their lives. You're constantly running into your own allies.
They call him Talion the Clumsy.
Quickly, under the gate!
Get moving!
Ooh, fight flirting, the best kind.
What are you doing?
I won't be long. Go.
Have the archers provide support.
You didn't need to roll.
Archers provide support. A bunch of archers in the wall was just like, we believe in you. You are valid, Talion. Hold.
Why are those orcs on fire? Oh right, they got hit by fire arrows. Okay, I just got the we support you, you're valid.
Why does that guy get a slow motion effect?
Wait, did that guy just like get hit by an arrow? He just jump into the air.
We've killed Goron the Flammable.
We may pay for every inch of ground, but they now hold it.
Our fate will be decided here. Our inner wall is our strongest. We have double their archer.
Okay, I appreciate that this woman is clearly part of the army or the city guard or whatever, but I don't appreciate the fact that she's so fucking tiny.
We're lost forever.
Yeah. She should be a bit more buff.
Go to the great hall. Secure the rest.
My place is here.
Make sure Tate and Finn.
Actually, this is kind of the problem I had with Resident Evil 0 when I was playing that, is that you have these like units who are full of big, tough, strong-looking men, and then like the only woman in them is like a tiny 15-year-old girl or someone who looks like a tiny 15-year-old girl. Look how much smaller her head is than his.
But I'll be back on the
Yeah. I'm dying, Squirtle. I actually never played the first game. I heard it was good. I heard a lot of people like it. I only bought this game because they were like, oh, you get to take part in fantasy sieges and battles. And I have a weakness.
Well, I reckon they're doing it because, like, women and things have to be feminine, despite how nonsensical that is.
No, I'm just thinking of Brienne. Brienne is a great character.
Yeah.
Yeah. There needs to be more characters like Brienne, and I don't just mean more characters played by Gwendolyn Christie, although I do also mean that. Because Gwendolyn Christie is a goddess.
Do you want a film where Gwendolyn Christie just plays everybody except maybe a male love interest? But
no,
like, Gwendolyn Christie's character, the main character, has like two love interests, and one of them's just played by her as well, and the other one is a bloke.
Yeah, I could go for that. You can have Alexander Siddig play the bloke.
We need to secure the Volantia now. The city is weak.
Oh, now remembering that time I came up with like a very brief plot for a film, which was
Castamir is right. By protecting
was it Jack Nicholson playing Nicole Kidman's ex-husband, who she wants to be assassinated, and she brings on board Jennifer Saunders and Cher, and the plot's really just like a buddy film, and maybe a bit of romance as well between like Jennifer Saunders and Jack Nicholson. Basically, those 4 people are on the Graham Norton show, and I just build a plot around it. Was it Nicole Kidman? I don't remember if it was Nicole. It was a blonde Hollywood actress. I remember that much. Also, speaking of older people, I saw this headline which was like, tech has a problem with baby boomers. Ageism is a problem in tech industry, and I'm just kind of sitting there going, I'm sorry, baby boomers are complaining about ageism. Baby boomers. The one group of people who successfully managed to be incredibly ageist against both their parents and their children.
I remember seeing... Well, no, I didn't see it. I heard an Age UK advert, and it was all about... like, it was somebody going... A lot of people have been saying that people of your age group have alcohol problems and so on and so forth. But that's not true. And like, no, Age UK, you're being very irresponsible. It is true. Baby boomers have a statistically they are hugely likely to develop alcohol and drug problems despite having the lowest risk factors of any group.
Yeah, it's the thing is, like, they complain about millennials and that how we all claim mental illness, and like, yeah, but we don't have alcohol problems.
I feel like this game would go a lot better if I was any good at it.
They just burn yourself there, bro. You're like the Human Torch, and you're not poof your own fire.
Who are you? You are Scoff Vamona.
He must be popular in the bedroom. Or he's just going to constantly complain when he loses.
It's just like, we never talk anymore, Talion. You're only interested in killing me and potentially making me your nemesis.
So it's not any orc that can become your nemesis, it's just one of these named buggers.
Yeah.
So, since I heard that they took the Warhog thing and they stopped making it a paid thing, do you have to download it separate, or are you going to run into him one day?
I think you have to download it separate.
Wait a second, does this have the same you're about to die, oh wait, no, you can dodge it thing that fucking Danganronpa Another Episode Ultra Despair Girls does?
Yep.
Oh my god, can you imagine if Toko showed up to give you a hand? That would be amazing. Don't forget to check out the website! What's a website? Oh, she's gone. Thank you, Genocide Jack!
Die, Scoff Vamona.
And all the other orcs in the Orc Afterlife is going to be like, oh thanks, now we have to deal with him. Oh, it's really hot down here. Consider putting in air conditioning.
Apparently, if a random orc kills you, they get a name. I presume Sauron personally names these people, and so that's why so few of them are named.
I like him. He's cute. Did you see how fucking enthusiastic he is?
Yeah, I saw.
I think he's got the same model as that big pink guy who was just like, he is dead. want him. I want Marco the Tark Slayer to be your nemesis now. Ooh. I do like that. I hope he does little jiggles as like more as well because it's cute.
That is long past time. Our work is not yet done.
Oddly, I'm getting flashbacks to that bit of Twilight Princess just before the Arbiter's Ground.
Yeah.
Man, I love that part of the game. I should play Twilight Princess again. Is Sack the Scholar hitting on you?
He would never do such a hateful thing.
And I'm loving these orcs.
Damn it, he's raised the alarm. Okay, I'm gonna kill this guy. Okay, I'm not gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna run away. And hide.
Braves Italian ran away. Bravely turned his tail and fled. I don't know the words. Slide tackles in fucking Lord of the Rings game. This isn't the FA Cup, Monolith. Also, when are you going to put Condemned 2 Bloodshot on Steam? So Easy doesn't let you have the Nemesis system.
No, I think you do still have the Nemesis system. You just don't experience it to its fullest extent. They didn't really explain what that involved. I am in over my head here.
Yeah, I feel like that's what happened when I played Yakuza Kiwami on normal mode and I turned it down to easy. I mean, I tried on normal, but I just couldn't hack it. I'm not good enough. Let's play more Kiwami. Ow. Stab myself with a needle.
Oh, attack further scholar, burned to death.
Ooh, what a way to go.
going to show up later as attack for a flammable or something.
Attack for the charred. That kind of reminding me of one of my favourite concepts from Golden Sun, where there was this item called an oil drop, and you could chuck it at your enemies, and it made them more vulnerable to fire. I don't think there's anything like that for anything else, though. Just fire. One of these days I need to finish Golden Sun. Good game.
Right, we were on our way to kill Maku the Tark Slayer. I don't even know where we are. It's near Minas Ithil, seems.
Gone in here. What fresh hell is this?
You know, I don't know if anybody's told people in video games, but just like hunching your back slightly doesn't actually make you stealthier.
Oh god, yesterday has a fucking sequel.
What? What's it called? Tomorrow?
No, it's called Yesterday Origins. Should it be called The Day Before Yesterday? Wait, the game is a quest to find the artifact that will allow John to complete the ritual correctly so he doesn't lose his memories anymore. But he fixed that problem at the end of the first game. I remember. I was there. In fact, the ritual being properly completed was exactly the entire point of the game.
Who are you?
I want everyone to hear the sizzle of man flesh. When we reach Gondor, you'll hear that sound a lot. Watch your step.
What? Someone else jumped in and killed Amuk Firecrawler. Is Amakvar all going to be that guy's nemesis now?
Oh, did you want him for your nemesis? Or are you still holding out for, Thingy the Mona?
I'll take anyone. I just want a nemesis.
You want your own personal orc Majima? Talion-chan! Well, that just reminded me that that guy that Majima apparently just modelled his entire life after. Like, he got really annoyed at that guard because he sold him out, and I'm like, yeah, but the guard was already taking, like, he's a policeman and he's already taking kickbacks from the fucking Yakuza. I'm not sure why you thought he was trustworthy.
Thanks, game. Gems can be placed in gear slots.
Nice.
We're going to parkour up this rooftop. Okay, Maku the Tark Slayer can be killed instantly using fire, for he is mortally flammable.
How, though? What, has he just got, like, really dry skin?
Possibly. I think Tark is the orc word for human.
Either that or it's the orc word for ghost elf human relationship. Wait, is the nemesis system basically just orcs doing to you what you do to them?
I mean, that's unfair.
I mean, when they kill you, you come back with a grudge.
That's true.
So it's just a ever-escalating fight between Talion and one orc.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Where is this orc?
Isn't he right beneath you?
Apparently, well, I mean, apparently he's like 40 feet beneath me.
Sewers?
Oh, there we go.
Beast is close by. I can already hear their infernal singing.
Oh, is he just asleep in a pile?
There he is. Maku the Tark Slayer. No, we had to go look at a Gondorian sergeant he had killed, which I think is just our body.
Now you're gonna go set them on fire.
Trying to see if there's any way I can set him on fire. Ooh. Shoot barrels to detonate them. Yep, killed him with fire.
Nice. Satisfying.
Talion, where did you even learn parkour?
This game is making it look like traditional European architecture is just really good to parkour off of, which is making me wonder why people weren't parkouring off it all the time in history.
Presumably because of all of those people being like, intriguing, but why?
Yeah, but that's Istanbul. Although if it was probably like Britain somewhere, it would be like, get off that fucking building, what do you think you're doing?
Perhaps they would parkour to cheer themselves up. It's like, oh, all of my children have died of dysentery, but at least I can climb this building.
You know, I joke, but I'm thinking like back in the day, like in like the 30s, students like Oxford and stuff was it Cambridge? It was one of them. Would climb up to people's roofs and put fucking chamber pots. Sorry, dual shot ran out of battery. What was I talking about?
Students.
Yeah, students would climb up to people's roofs and put chamber pots on their chimneys. So that's one reason people would parkour, I guess.
No, that's true. He is poison proof. God damn it, Natsu the killer killed me. I was doing so well.
Middle Earth will fall. Also, Nazu the killer. Isn't that what everybody in this fucking army is trying to be? A killer!
Presumably he's killed like a statistically significant number of people.
The city needs us. Middle Earth needs us. Minas Ithil is merely the first casualty in a long campaign.
Well, game developers ever learned that when you're in tall bushes, you tend to rustle?
I presume all these people hiding in tall bushes are like anti-rustling experts. Also, is there any way we can find like a respawn point in the city so that we're not having to trek back here every time?
Maybe that's part of your punishment for failure. Commuting. Okay, let's chase Gund for Twisted. Honestly, Minas Ithil is going to fall while we're getting distracted by things. Maybe Minas Ithil shouldn't be relying so much on some random guy and his dead boyfriend.
I think they think that, you know, it's fine, that they're probably not going to get distracted because they can't be dating because he's Ghost. Like, someone in the guard was something like, but what if Talion gets distracted with his boyfriend and the king, or the governor of the city was something just like, that's preposterous, he Ghost.
Yeah, but he's in Talion's body.
And the governor just kind of squinted and was like, but he Ghost.
He's possessing him, Sarge. You have to know where I'm going with this.
Tilting his hand just like, but he Ghost?
Yeah, now I understand why your wife left you.
Face me. Face a hunter and find out what defeat tastes like. Break your bones.
He's a terror assassin. What? That sounds like something George W. Bush came up with for the war on terror. And I'll send out my terror assassins to stop these terrorists in their tracks. It's been so long since I've heard George W. Bush's voice. Just don't remember what he sounds like.
He keeps dodging my strikes. Who are you, Orc Demetrio?
That's a reference nobody's going to understand. Oh no, we had to deal with him too, because Tony Blair just basically did whatever his mate told him to.
Yeah. See, Tony Blair, now there's someone who's nobody's going to forget Tony Blair's voice, because his voice is easy to do. Big grin, last of the Time Lord's hair.
Big fish, little fish, cardboard box.
I can see him, but I can't hear him. I'm trapped behind glass.
I wasn't gonna get that one either. But that one's my fault, so I'm the one who keeps using that one.
Well, I've killed Zorn the Terror Assassin. Right, now we can continue on with what we were doing, which is in turn a
Being
distraction.
distracted by a different...
Yes.
Menace, Ethel is falling! I've got to fight the guy who killed me! It's a matter of pride! Also, I want to get the Nemesis system going.
Okay, we're back on the Eyes of Sauron.
You know, with this big, sweeping, beautiful open world game RPG, I'm thinking you might be nestling in on my territory, bruv.
Bruv, there's a limit to Teledor games I have access to, okay? This is how we ended up doing Kingdom Hearts 2 right after Birth by Sleep. Besides, I'm playing .hack GU too, and that's also a beautiful RPG. I'm not sure if it's open world. I think actually it's probably not, because I remember .hack uses a gate system to get to different areas. God, I love .hack. They should do another trilogy of .hack games.
Chrono Trigger is very good.
I've never played Chrono Trigger? Yeah, I've never played Chrono Trigger, unfortunately.
Today's stream brought to you by the Reverend Spooner. I have. It's alright.
Well, I am quite interested in Mountain Blade now that you said it involves big siege battle things, because I fucking love siege battles in video games. Like ones where you're actually taking part, not like real-time strategy shit. I have taste.
I have XCOM and Enemy Unknown. Should play it. I don't think I'll ever get XCOM 2 because I hear that they put like turn limits on things just to get you to take risks, because you'll take all of the fun out of the game if you play it the way you want to. And I'm like, fuck you, developer. I know how I want to play games, and failing is not fun.
Ooh. Cute like video of Pennywise in the sewer just being like, we've got sprawling fantasy, the owls down here.
I think you're gonna have to get a mouse though, bruv.
Oh, hey, Salmon.
Wait, is that pupil like the shadow of a man?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
The city is built on the ruins of my kingdom. Yet something's remained. Those are my barrows, still hidden from Sauron's sight. There I will show you why we must retrieve my ring.
Ooh. I mean, I'm okay with like fiction, non-fantasy battles.
Well, the thing is, if it's like old, like Middle Ages and stuff, that's such a thing as low fantasy. I mean, let's be honest, most fantasy takes place in like medieval settings for a reason. Mostly because people are very, very unimaginative. Says the person who's writing epic sprawling fantasy taking place in medievally times. Although in my defense, it depends on when you go.
Where is that if there's then? It's over there.
It's Paradox slipping you a 20 dark skull. You're doing a pretty good job selling this game. Ha, missed. This is the point where you go, whose side are you on? And this is also the point where I go, the orcs. Bitch.
But on some level, aren't we all orcs?
Not really. On a vaguely related note, I think the Orcs are my favourite kind of elf in Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls in general.
We found Scoff and Mona.
Hey, it's been ages. How you been, Scoff? You're looking forward to your inevitable death at the hands of a elf-human romance.
Okay, Scoffer Mona doesn't seem to speak, he just, you know, moans.
I think he lost his tongue at some point.
Quite possibly.
I do like pirates. That's why I did buy all the Risen games.
Okay. What does an Ephiladin even look like? Don't know what I'm looking for here.
Ooh, shots fired, Darskull. I played the first one to the end. And I need to do the second one at some point. But, can't really deny any of what you just said about them. I did kind of enjoy the first one in a weird way. I think I liked it because it was trying so hard to be really immersive. So you could do things like chop wood, even though there was no point. Sit down, and you got experience from smoking weed. And you could get experience from sleeping with a prostitute. And you got a scroll for it as well. But it was so hard. Like, needlessly hard. I tried turning it down to easy mode partway through because it was just getting so difficult. But that didn't seem to do anything.
See, I kind of want to see a resurgence of fantasy novels with, like, cliche, irredeemable Dark Lords and shit, but, like, done interestingly. Not done, you know, shitly.
Okay, one of the things that really bothers me is that, like, when people are like, so this villain of yours wants to take over the world. Why? And I'm like, because power is fun. Like, the thing is, you do realise power and authority and wealth and being able to fuck all the bitches you want is, like, a reward in itself. Like, there's a reason people want this shit in real life, and it's not because they have tragic backstories.
Somewhere Alexander the Conqueror is just like, ayy.
sometimes a villain can be relatable just because they want what we want, and that's power. I think we all know the song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Yeah, but we're talking about villains and things.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Sauron revealed his betrayal, I took up arms against him. In my wrath, I was determined to punish him for his treachery.
I'm running out of time to reach for the wrath.
I mean, I like Cersei, but if she was real, I'd despise her.
I love Cersei. Cersei did nothing wrong.
Apart from all those things she did wrong. But apart from that, nothing wrong.
I'm still irritated over that guy who was like, I think the High Sparrow just wanted justice. Like, you might think it's harsh, but what you don't get is that Cersei sleeps with a lot of people.
I really don't give a fuck about how many people she sleeps with. The only people I give a fuck about her sleeping with are her brother.
Yeah. Like, maybe don't do that, Cersei. Like, come on, brah. Come on, brah. Brah. You know who I hate? Jon. I hate Jon.
Ugh. I've said this before and I'll say it again, you'd hate her a lot less if it wasn't, not her, it's a him. You'd hate him a lot less if it wasn't for his fans. He'd probably be a lot like Cullen for you. You'd be like, oh, my bastard son, you're trying your best, but your best's just not very good.
The problem is, like, even without... Oh, hey, Caragor. You're a good feather at all. Yeah, like, I know what you mean about Jon being kind of like a piece of wood. He is pretty bland.
Oh yeah, Tyrion's boss.
Tyrion is awesome.
Who's got two thumbs and loves Tyrion? Everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I fucking adore Tyrion. I like Tyrion, I like Sansa. Tyrion and Sansa and Cersei are probably my favourites. I do like Daenerys. Oh hey, Maku the Tarkslayer.
Wait,
He defeated
he's back.
death. Yeah, he is now Maku, Flame of War. And he's all charred and shit.
Yay, I was rooting for him. I wanted him to be your Nemesis.
Also, you know how we killed him with fire?
Yeah.
Well, now he's got his whole fire theme and a flaming weapon.
Oh, I'm so happy. If he shows up again, you should take take a screenshot of him because I want to do fan art of him because Marky the Tark Slayer. I was rooting for that bastard. What, by fucking her nephew? Ugh.
Yeah, Daenerys, don't fuck your nephew. My problem with Jon, from a storytelling perspective, apart from the fact that I think he's quite boring, is that Jon gets a lot of stuff just given to him by the story when he doesn't really earn it. And this is also my problem with a lot of his fans, that they talk a lot about how he's great and he deserves everything he gets, but he doesn't really do anything to warrant it. It's the whole King of in the North thing. That should have been Sansa. And like
Yeah,
the common
he's illegitimate. That makes no sense.
yeah, and like the common argument is, oh well, he's faced White Walkers, but yeah, he lost against White Walkers. Anyone can lose a fight against a White Walker. It's not difficult.
I could do it. And ruling is more than fights.
Yeah.
So all you've managed to do is make an argument that he'd be a good wartime king, which, you know, isn't a very good argument that he'd be a good wartime king, but it's an argument that you've made. But what's he going to do when this problem's over?
It's over because it's not over. The flames must dance. Come, dance with me.
God damn it, he escaped.
He just fucking nutted you. Woo! I love that guy. He's great.
I may have to come back to this stream once it's done processing and like take pictures of Maku the Tark Slayer, us burning him, and then him coming back as Maku, the flame obsessive guy, whatever he was.
I think he's cute.
I love him.
He's my child son.
Ooh, we can poison a nearby barrel. But I don't know why we would at this point. The Seeing Stone. Actually, let's go get that She-Dog memory first. Where is it? She-Dog memory. You know who I hate even more than Jon, though? Rhaegar
Jaime.
fucking Targaryen. I don't like Jaime either, but no, Rhaegar Targaryen. No, Talion, don't go underground, that's where death is.
Rhaegar is Jon's father, isn't he?
Yeah. Like, hey, Rhaegar, you delegitimized your 2 children to have a romance with a 17-year-old girl, which you then didn't tell anyone about, for starting a war that got said children and your wife killed, and your new wife's brother and father, and you named your new son like the same name as your first son. Rhaegar Targaryen is an asshole.
Well, you're not going to hear me argue with that.
I guess you could say that orc didn't stand a ghost of a chance. A ghost
Oh, ha ha, you're very
of a
witty.
chance. You see, it's funny because he was killed by a ghost. So, like, a ghost of a chance is like a saying that people say when people don't stand much of a chance. But here it's a pun because it doesn't stand a ghost of a chance.
Fish and Melia streams where good puns go to die.
Ghost of a chance. God, I'm sad there aren't any ghosts in Fate Zero, so I can just have Kurt like, you don't stand a ghost of a chance. A ghost. Just have him draw out the pun to excruciating levels.
Aren't technically all the servants ghosts? Alright, yeah, I get it, no.
Oh, that's my uncertainty voice. Oh yeah, Gilgamesh. That functional alcoholic. I love him.
I love to mock him. But only because I care. You know, you can spell it out if you want, mate. We'll understand. And probably start spelling it wrong too out of solidarity because it sucks.
I did enjoy Fate Zero though.
I meant all the bits not written by Gena Ibuchi. Sorry,
Yeah,
what are
also-
you doing?
I don't know. I think we're supposed to view this from an angle to like get an image.
Oh yeah, I did this all the time in The Room. Oh, I think you almost got it.
There we go.
The fuck? That was not worth it. This is just reminding me that Kroll would make a fucking awesome video game.
Yeah, I mean, it may as well have been a loading screen for all the good we got out of it. Hey, Chloe. I
Hey,
sent
it's
you the
the
invite to the party, so if you want to join, by all means, a thought has just occurred to me. Hey, Jeff. What would you say your mic setup is like if, say, I needed someone to voice act a person or two in something? My bro. I did
Hello.
it in the hello.
Yo.
I did it in the shadiest way. Just like, how would you? Hello, child. How would you say your voice acting setup is? For no reason.
Would you like some of this white powder I have with me?
I brought you some milk.
gotten any arch enemies yet?
Yes!
Yes,
We
Marku
did.
the Tark Slayer. We fucking love him.
Marku the Tark Slayer, he was very vulnerable to fire, so we set him on fire and killed him instantly, and when he became Marku the Flame Mystic, and he was burned, and he kept ranting about how he was the flame. Oh, the fuck off.
And how and then he was like, "No, the flames must dance," and then he nutted us and escaped. I love him. He's so cute. He made such a cute little dancing move when he killed us. He didn't have a name before that.
I love Marku. One day he will return, and presumably like crazier than ever. Borgu one word. I want to know what the word. Okay, apparently his one word is uncomplicated. That's more advanced than I thought.
Boku one word.
Betty, let's take them down.
You're gonna die, Gondorian Sergeant. Wow, I love how everybody in that troop just pulled their swords out in perfect unison.
Oh, he's called Borgu one word because he only says one word at a time. Okay.
He looks like a drunk person's drawing of a Roman centurion.
Or someone who says to himself, "I'm going to make a post-apocalyptic Rome."
Oh, so you mean Fallout New Vegas?
Yes.
2010.
Exactly.
The thing I like about Borgu here is that he only says one word at a time, but they're quite long and complicated words.
Borgu, nobody else gets to kill you. Oh yes, so I've almost finished like the first series worth of episodes for Fate Zero Abridged. So once those are done and edited, I'll start tapping people for voice lines.
Can I tell you about something that happened today?
You may.
I woke up because I could hear something snapping, like when you snap your fingers.
Mm-mm.
And I went around my house, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And after standing still for a full minute, I realized it was coming from my my ceiling. And and there's space up there, but I can't get up there because there's a door and it requires a key, and I don't have that. And I stood there for at least 2 minutes, and it just kept going, snap, 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 and it was both regular and irregular, and I was like, okay, either there's something malfunctioning up on my ceiling, or there's somebody up there and he's just they're just snapping their fingers.
Oh my god, beatniks have moved in.
Yeah.
An entire production of West Side Story is taking place in the room above you.
Yeah, but I was legit thinking, there's somebody on my ceiling. I even called Kenton up and was like, please get over here. There's something on my up on my ceiling, and there's I hear snapping, like fingers snapping. And of course, 1 minute before he shows up, it stops.
So I'd like, did he just like get in, like tip his hat backwards and go, "Yep, you've gone mad."
That's what I was thinking. When Kenton left, I sat down on my sofa, looked at my ceiling, and said, "Okay, he's gone now. You can start again." But it hasn't come back, so we're kind of assuming it was just the wind because it's been really stormy here. Oh god damn, it was terrifying! Ah.
We are going to kill you, Natsu. Natsu, rather.
I think it's interesting how bright it is. I mean, it's sunny.
Well, you can see the sun in Mordor if you're not close to Mount Doom.
Yeah, and it's only because you can't see it because of, you know, ash, not because, like, magic. I want to do something about your health.
I'm off to get promoted.
Did you just die?
Oh, oh no!
Yeah.
You died to Sakura?
Night night, Margaret. I'm off to get promoted.
Oh, sorry.
I fucking love these guys.
Takra lucky shot. Yeah, this is the Maku Flame of War.
No?
I
That's
love
your
him.
enemy?
He is my child's son.
Ah, I like him.
He's cute, isn't he?
He looks like he has spirit. I'm gonna do things, yeah!
The ring is flawed. It was a mistake. We brought about the siege. My ring is perfect. Its power is what shook Mordor. And that power will be ours again.
Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, everything is the same, except instead of being possessed by Celebrimbor, Talion is possessed by Wolfie. No, everything's perfect. Yeah, it's better than your ring. Talion. Talion, no. Okay. I don't think we're strong enough to kill Takra. Ooh, Maku Flame of War is over here. I don't think we're strong enough. No, only level 7. Let's do the story. We'll come back to... Ooh, we could do that camp raid. No, let's go do some story.
These treasures. All that matters is the Palantir.
We should investigate the Great Hall
And secure the Palantir.
Oh yeah, so like sometime in the next week or two, I'll come to both of you and be like, "Hey guys, I've brought you annotated scripts for you to record voice lines on." And you'll be like, "How did you get into my house while I was sleeping?" And I'd be like, "Brought you annotated scripts. Read them.
How did you
Read them
How
now."
did you get to Denver that fast? I don't understand.
So I was totally like doing something else. What?
I was just saying that in like the next 2 weeks, once I've got these 7 scripts done and edited, I'll probably be like, "Hey guys, probably some annotated scripts for you to read and read lines out from." And it'll be like, "How did you get into my home, Doug?" I'll be like,
You
"I crafted
invited me in because you invited me round. Do you not remember for your birthday?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, where's my present? It is this annotated script."
Oh, this is a nice room.
So I was just reading something because Raincoat wants me to do some recording for him.
Yeah, this is for his Halloween thing, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, you're the handsome man from the loading screens.
Ooh.
I like how his hair looks, like, you know, correct.
Yeah. See, video game developers, actual properly textured hair for black people. It's not difficult.
He looks beautiful.
He is.
Can we
he's
have him
so
as the main
pretty.
character instead of Talion? Talion looks.
I was just
so
thinking
much-
that. Hey, Celadon possess this guy.
Oh yeah, if you possess this guy, then you can bang your boyfriend instead of, you know, what you have to do instead.
Somewhere, someone is like, "We are being helped out by Talion and his boyfriend Celadundor," and the king is just like, "I do not understand. He ghost."
Oh no, he possessed this really attractive guy. Oh.
I see. So he is now unghost.
Oh no, Talion's pretty good looking. I mean, he's not as good looking as this guy, but few people are.
He looked better in the first game, and now he just looks off model. I think he looked softer in the first game. Now he's just ugh.
He's been through more.
Yes, but still.
I'm getting flashbacks to Kvatch.
Are you
who-
HP Lovecraft?
No,
Or am I-
Oblivion.
Oh, Kvatch. Okay.
Who wants to bet that our old friend Maku will show up?
Oh, I hope he does. Love Maku. My
Love
child
Maku's-
son.
Oh, speaking of glory, did you watch the first voice acted Fate Extella part?
I might not have. I've been so
the-
tired of the last couple of days.
It was the last one up. It has a yellow.
Okay, now you will be
title
charged.
card.
Which part is it? 5 or 6?
7, I think.
7. Okay, I'll look at it later.
Yeah.
After
It's
this.
It's
Yes.
good. It has me and Reese doing voices. I am Archimedes. She is Nero.
And, Altera.
Yeah, she's also
Gawain.
Gawain.
That was
Well,
my
I-
Gawain voice, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Wait, Shield, why are you here? Oh, the Seeing Stone mission failed. That's why she's here. Don't know why we failed it. Stupid, sexy She-Lord. Why is she not still a spider? Spiders can be sexy too.
I might actually buy this game if she was a spider, but she just looks like a what's she looks like one specific character from one specific series from like 30 or 40 years ago. I'm not sure which though.
Well, that really narrows it down.
I know.
What kind of series?
I don't know. The series that had extremely pale women with black hair and black dresses and were supposed to be sexy. Wasn't for older men. I think.
Oh, right. We're not meant to kill him. We're meant to mount him.
God damn it!
Okay, we dominate and mount the siege beast.
Oh, next to him sharing ice cream with him. Damn.
Oh god, no.
Oh no!
Siege beast on siege beast violence.
One
Terrible.
preparing. No.
Wait,
Oh! You get in a
Talion, are
fight for
you
and then you just kill
Nicholas
it.
Bolton? I'm gonna check who's voice acting him. Because that sounds like Nicholas Bolton.
Oh! Ow!
Talion, voice actor. It is in fact Troy Baker. Oh, hang on. Unless they changed it in Shadow of War. Nope, it's Troy Baker.
Doing a great Nicholas Bolton impression, apparently. I've almost finished this quilt block. I've only got 2 more seams to sew. I know, sometimes they seem to take forever, and sometimes they seem to go super fast.
Then it will only be a matter of time till they find a Palantir.
I know, dude, I'm trying to reach the Sea Beast. That I wasted a lot of time looking up voice actors. Okay, mount and dominate the Siege Beast.
Could you stop saying that?
Sorry, dominate and mount the Siege Beast.
Better.
Sauron's armies have grown massively. Eventual victory against him will not be possible. We must secure the Palantir.
Oh, they want us to destroy enemy Siege Beasts, okay.
I'd respect the games developed. There are like natural African hair textures are really difficult to model, so that's why we gave all of our black characters protective styles, which are much easier to model.
Well, I know what you mean. That just sounds like you have like a sci-fi room in your basement where I've just lined up dozens and dozens of clones of a Warrior of Light. You're just like, yes, soon my collection will be complete. I shall have every reality's Warrior of Light.
Wipe away our history.
At least they don't have to see us. The gates are open.
Are these two gonna bang?
Will mine run?
It might.
We salvage what we can and leave.
You have a valuable weapon. The Seeing Stone gives
It's an interesting choice to have us here defending Minas Ithil, since we already know Talion's going to fail at that.
none can withstand its influence. I can.
Men before you have thought the same.
The things they have found. If I'm right, we win this war.
Then I will find my father.
She will hold you to your oath, Ranger.
Well, I'd be interested to know when this is set, because I was always under the assumption that Minas Ithil had fallen like long before the events of Lord of the Rings.
Minas Ethel?
Yeah, Minas Ithil. It's Minas Tirith's sister city, from back when Minas Tirith was Minas Anor. So then Minas
How do you
Ithil,
spell it?
uh,
How do you spell
Minas and then Ithil. That we know that Minas Ithil falls and it gets renamed Minas Morgul. Yeah, I kind of assumed Minas Ithil had fallen more than a century before.
We need to see Shiva. Her visions can help us. We need the ring.
Ah, Minas. Okay.
Yeah.
Minas Morgul. Is that one?
Yeah, Minas Morgul is the renamed Minas Ithil.
Yes. Just wanted to be sure.
I like that arrow-proof guy said.
Yeah.
I thought this was an AU.
That's what I thought too, that apparently it's not. Seeing what it is we can do. I don't want to go face Maku again, because we're too low level for that. search that for that captain over here.
So can you hear that banging?
Yeah. Not very loud though.
I don't know what it is. If it gets really annoying, just let me know and I'll mute my mic.
Yeah, I can't even hear it anymore.
Nah, it started up again. Maybe it's that same
yeah.
bastard who's hiding in your ceiling.
You hear that? They're calling you a bastard.
You went a bit wolfy there. Do you hear that? Yeah, it's calling you. Bastard. Who the fuck is hitting me with big ass fireballs? I expressly asked for the ice dolls, and yet my order has not been completed. Shit, wasted an hour on a dead man.
That's a bit overkill.
Yeah, there's kill and then there's overkill, and that was definitely the latter.
Yeah. You hit him how many times with your sword, and then you just said, he's not dead yet.
I didn't know he was
Oh.
dead. Sometimes people who aren't dead look like they're dead. What I really need to do is find someone. Oh, there you are. He's poison proof. We need to gain some intel if we want to. Well, that guy didn't give us any intel. His head just exploded. Probably don't need to get intel on Stakuga? That name sounds familiar. Wait a second, wasn't Stakuga the Taunter that guy who became Stakuga the Unkillable for that other person in this game?
Well, yeah, you're right, it is.
Yeah,
But we've
it's the
got
same
Marku,
guy.
we don't need him.
Oh, I've heard all about you and your tricks. Nasty tricks. I bet my tricks are nastier. I'll show you. It'll be the last thing you'll ever see.
Well, I've killed Stakuga. I'm sure he won't come back. Oh, Borgu One Word is back.
Oh, I like that guy. You know, for a guy whose name is Borgu One Word, he has a really good vocabulary. He just uses it one word at a time. That's not a dagger, that's a broken sword.
Alright, let's go set that waypoint with more places to spawn from.
You talked about the ending of this game and what happens to Talion.
Yeah.
What happens to Celebrimbor?
I think he ends up merged with Savon and their spirits are battling for dominance, and one presumes Sauron wins because, you know, he's Sauron, he's a Maya, he would. But Celebrimbor was just an elf. I mean that's fair. Sauron is a celestial super being, and Celebrimbor is a guy with pointy ears.
Yes, he is.
Very tall guy. Though he doesn't seem that much taller than Talion.
Where's this last thing? Okay. I don't care much about the Philidin. Is there any reason I'm getting artifacts to preserve Gondorian history?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. I care not for Gondorian history.
You're too lazy, basically, to do this side quest.
That is not how I would put it.
But it's accurate.
Rude. That is so hurtful, I'm going to jump off this building. Goodbye, cruel world!
Can't take criticism.
I remember trying to get all the artifacts in the first game, and it just felt like it took forever.
Gondor's got a lot of history.
It wasn't even Gondor, it was Mordor.
Mordor had a lot of history.
Wait, who? Hawk the Crazy?
What?
Worms are in his head, and they go wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, 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 do 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 do. It must be terrible to have a Drace and Derulo track stuck in your head. Although, poor Jason Derulo, I keep getting him mixed up with Chris Brown.
Yeah, well, that's harsh.
I know, that is really harsh on him. My apologies, Mr. Derulo.
Oh no! Oh! Shabaka.
I guess because their music's really not that different from each other.
Oh, Hawk the Crazy has been enraged by mortal wounds.
Uh-oh.
I have killed him. I'm sure he shall never return. You know, the fact that so many of these orcs are coming back from nearly fatal death says a lot of good things about Sauron's medical care for his troops.
It really does.
I feel like if Sauron wasn't so intent on Nazu,
I think that guy killed you twice.
apparently he had a claim on Hawk for Crazy's life, so he's like, I'm gonna kill you now. And he's killed me again.
What is Sauron's motivation again?
Domination, isn't it?
He's basically just completing the work that Melkor left behind.
Makes sense.
What did Melkor want to achieve?
Well, he killed the 2 trees.
Yeah, Melkor's goals are very
his-
much assault on the heavens type dealio.
Spider did it, at least.
What will they do if they lose those?
Well, Melkor helped.
How many will be lost?
It was a team effort, the killing of the 2 trees.
Okay, where the fuck do they have those statues? Where else? Oh.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings does seem to be really into massive statues for some reason.
Yeah.
For the white tree!
I mean, how long did it take them to make those statues? Because, really, they're so big.
This ain't the place for the likes of you, Ranger. I'll kill you both!
I don't know why Jim Sterling is in this game.
Did you backflip on that fountain? Because
I
that's what
did.
it looks like. It looked like you got over there halfway, then you went into the spirit form, and then he backflipped over there.
Feel yourself upon these spikes. Taste the pain.
Wait, no. Someone who's even more Jim Sterling is showing up.
Yeah, that is Jim Sterling. That, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Jim
Impel
Sterling.
yourself upon these spikes.
Yeah. Oh god, I can hear that. I can hear him say that.
And, like, the wriggling about as he says it.
Yeah, they all seem to wriggle about as they say stuff.
He's
the
like
reason I love Marku so much.
2 steps off from being like, thanks Sauron for me. What? Another one? God, you can't go like 10 steps without tripping over someone who wants to be your arch enemy.
Thousand pulsing maggots crawled over and into me, scouring the dead flesh from my ragged wounds. Now they are with me, always, a churning, writhing
There was one YouTuber I follow who once said that the orcs have a really specific order in which they want to do specific things to you. The first one is murder, second is love, and the third is just ripping your corpse apart, I think.
You think you've done any damage? You've done nothing, Tom. Nothing!
How many times have you died so far?
Many times. Also, we thought we'd killed Nork, the Unbreakable, but he is death-defying and like, I live!
Go, Jim! Go, Jim!
He's just like, you think you've done damage? You haven't. I'm death-defying, and that's why I'm the greatest showman in games media.
No! Kill Jim Sterling!
Again.
I hope he come back. I hope he comes back.
Me too.
That was an ugly one, wasn't it?
I was so close!
We're lucky that Gondorian Sergeant was there.
I like how Dark School is just yelling, "The trees!" and lol. Jim isn't ugly, he's wonderful! He's beautiful! You leave Jim alone. I would totally watch him dressed up in latex. A ton of latex. I wonder if somebody here can do that. Make that for him.
Oh, someone already
Somebody
did.
started dressing up in that's spandex.
Yeah, spandex, sorry.
Thank God! Look, the less I know about Jim Sterling's sex life, the better. Unfortunately, I have a baseline knowledge already. It's like the entry-level requirement to being a fan.
Him in his latex in Balladur, just like pounding it. Pounding it. Pounding it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go take out Darga. He's a defender.
Oh, I thought you said, Baka, not Baga.
Yeah, I had back at it.
The Sundar Orc. It's not like I want you to be my enemy or anything, but Baka.
It could be so funny if that's actually what happened.
Shouldn't you be cowering
when do you think you'll debut Fate Zero Bridge?
Once I've gotten the first 7 episodes recorded and mostly edited. So I want to give myself a good margin for like releases, so I can have a fairly regular release schedule. And I think what I want to do is have a short hiatus between episode 7 and episode 8, because that's where the series break is. And put something smaller and with a smaller cast of characters abridged in that time. I haven't decided what it is.
Super Mario Shadow of War.
Having you around on streams is always a riot, Jack.
Ooh, who's going to kill you? Did
Hang
this
on.
show up randomly?
Why do these Gondorian sergeants not wear gloves?
I don't know. Well, that Gondorian sergeant has taken out Backer, so it's probably his nemesis now.
That'd be kind of cool if, like, you're talking to somebody in a cutscene and suddenly one of the orcs they've murdered comes back going, I'm gonna kill you!
That would be, like, a really good... Like, you combine a game with, like, a party and a game with a nemesis system quite well, so that, like, you can get nemesis, but maybe all of your party members can also get, like, one nemesis apiece. And if you have them in your party, that nemesis is more likely to show up. But they'll, like, focus
Oh my
their
god,
attacks
can you
on
imagine
them.
if they show up and those person's not in your party? They're just like, oh, sorry to waste your time. I thought...
Yeah.
That later.
That'll be fun.
Like, it should be 2. They should be like, I'll kill all their friends! And the... I know, it's... No, mate, it's just them. I ain't got nothing against you guys. This is personal, like...
Natsu the Killer is now at like epic levels of nemesis.
Yeah, because you've never successfully managed to kill him.
Okay, first of all, fuck you.
You can't take criticism.
Ow.
I'm going to mark Tack the lucky shot because I have a plan for taking him out.
Oh,
A cunning plan.
cunning fan.
Alright, hit us, Baldric. What is it?
You'll see if it's successful.
And then you'll just pretend you didn't have a plan at all once it fails.
You'll see.
That's a yes.
Translate for us, please. We don't understand, Doug.
Okay. I need to be in a high place and unnoticed.
You're gonna Assassin's Creed him to death.
Not exactly. Okay, that. Needs to be higher. See, it said he was at Caragor pens. So I think if I can release the Caragors on him...
Ooh. But don't they move?
I'm not seeing any Caragors anyway, so I'm just gonna stab him.
See.
Oh right, he's not here. This is just where the trail starts.
What happened to that orc? It disappeared.
Shadowfall is the most stable game.
I'm gonna stab you. Nope, don't have time for that. I'm looking for the tracks. Okay. You say so.
Okay, this, since he wasn't actually there, that's just where his tracks start. This means that I could still do the whole Caragor plan. He's here. Oh, he's enraged by Caragors. Why are you near the Caragor pens then?
He lives for being mad. What, is he just like, I hate these fucking things, why do we even have them?
You can do jumping attacks if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I don't want to put myself in a position where you can see me.
Has been anything in the news today? Any interesting thing happening?
Robert McGarvey has been made ambassador for the World Health Organization.
Isn't he a dictator?
Yeah,
What?
he is an infamously brutal dictator, no less.
Who tanked his country's economy.
Jesus Christ, what fucking MMA gym did you learn to fight in, Tackler?
Oh wait, I've seen him down the MMA gym in Erdington. Oh, he's a local boy, he's doing well.
That looked absolutely savage. Wow. Nice done. Nicely done. Ah. Fantastic.
Anyway, now we've got our cool new sword. We're going to go find him. He's apparently having a feast. Maybe we can poison the wine barrows.
Is the middle of a siege really good idea for an attacking force to be having a fucking feast?
They're orcs, they do what they like. Sauron seems like a very hands-off commander.
He is a giant eye.
He's not actually a giant eye.
Well, what is he then?
Like, person-shaped mostly.
But what's the giant eye about?
That's just his... It's just what's on his flag. And, like, it's also what people see when they look at him while wearing a ring of power. Well, it's what people see when he's looking at them wearing a ring of power. Like, if you put on the one ring, you see a giant flaming eye. Because that's Sauron's eye finding you. That Sauron himself is not a giant flaming eye. This really bothers me about the films. I present him as being literally an eye. It are figurative.
So, has a giant flaming eye.
No, not really.
It's like one normal eye.
And then he has
What
one
you
massive
fungus?
one that is literally bigger than he is. This was a bad idea.
It's like having to project off of his body. He has to have these special doors in his house, which is just like normal door, and then like this huge oval out.
And he has to cart it around in a little wagon.
And he can get it to go down with eye drops. So whenever anybody puts on a ring, get power to go big again. And he's like, why did I distribute these to the world?
It's probably safe to say that Sauron's actual form is kind of similar to a Nazgul. Like, an invisible person wearing robes and armour.
Except for one giant flaming eye.
Yeah.
Like, he's got one normal invisible eye, and then he's got one big flaming animu eye.
No! That's bad! Oh.
Oh, that reminds me of like one of my favourite things in anime and manga is when you like they have these quite stylistic faces, but then like when you see a pile of skulls, they're normal human skulls, and you're just like, what do you just revert? Do you what? Where do your eyes go?
How does that work? That reminds me of that one you can find on Tumblr who tried to draw the skulls. Draw a skull after one who has really massive eyes. Just creepy.
It's best not to think about it. It's the thing about. I think one of the things people don't seem to really understand about manga style is it's a consequence of the publishing style. Like, I don't really think that like you can really describe manga as having an art style, but it's definitely a style of publishing. And because they come out relatively fast, they need a more simplistic look in order to be able to be produced that quickly.
This is also a big part of why faces often have quite exaggerated features, because also manga tends to be black and white because of how quickly it comes out.
So it also makes it cheaper to produce because you don't need to have special paper or anything, and you're lowering costs on ink.
Okay, I need to go to this outpost and search it for... Nazu the killer. This time I will kill him.
I feel like you've insulted Steins Gate in that post where you were complaining about visual novels, because Steins Gate art style looks fine.
Does it though?
It's much better than Clannad's.
That's not difficult.
And you said Clannad was one of the better ones.
I said it was high end, It's not necessarily the same as being better.
Really? That's high end.
It's one of the same. It's high end, and one of the better ones means the same goddamn thing.
High end here means gets a lot of press and money.
Well, why didn't you say critically acclaimed or popular?
I would have to wonder whether the critic for the claims clamoured.
It looks so bad. I have a visual novel, but it's so confusing.
Which one is it?
I think it's Higurashi When They Cry. Let me check. Yeah. Higurashi When They Cry Ho, Chapter 1, Onikakushi. It's something about the engine they've used. It's not built for this, and it makes it very difficult to tell who's talking. Like, instead of having a different text box saying, Ryusuke said this, or Himiko said that, it's just like one big roll of text written out like a book, but without proper he said, she saids on it.
Yeah, that does sound really awkward to read.
I mean, it sounds like it's got a vaguely interesting story, but I can't get past that. The thing at all.
Nope, 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 nope.
Oh, goodness me, it's 10 o'clock at night. Why do the orcs work for Sauron?
Because they were basically created, or as Melkor made them, from elves.
Yeah. It makes sense.
So, are there any orcs who are just like, fuck this noise?
There are civilizations of men too who live in Mordor, who work for Sauron.
It's not entirely clear on what Sauron wants.
He wants to party.
never left, to be honest.
I thought Doug killed him at least once.
No, he hasn't. Nazi
Really?
keeps killing Doug.
Oh, okay.
I've killed him like at least 3 times now. Like one time I think he was just there, another time Doug was trying to kill him and failed, and then the third time, I'm pretty sure it was when he killed Hawk the Crazy, and apparently Nazu had dibs on that.
This was
And
my
it-
kill.
Yeah, basically, and then killed Doug for taking his spot.
I wish there was a counter somewhere that said this orc has killed you this many times.
That would actually be kind of handy.
It would.
I've killed him. I've killed Natsu the killer.
Difference. The Nazgul are here.
I look forward to his inevitable return.
Yes.
Victory is certain for the Dark Lord.
Shit. He nutted me and escaped.
Nice!
Ooh, I must be friends with Marku.
Oh! Pura gula. Okay. You get the most interesting enemies, Doug. That's one problem I had when I was playing the game. I never got anybody interesting. But again, I never got anybody. I killed them so
What
fast.
the hell is a ghoul?
Don't know.
I know. It's those things that show up. They're always crouched and they're feral things. They look humanoid but have gray skin. Really dark gray skin.
Apparently I
Is it-
can
yeah,
still...
is it-
He's a crazy cat orc.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Is a Caragor going to become your nemesis now, Doug?
Maybe.
It is! Oh! Come on, hoorah! Should have run.
Well, apparently I can track Nazu still, so if I can just kill this Caragor and then this captain. There, Caragor is dead.
Woo. It looked like both of you were sidestepping. Ah!
Courage, my lord.
God damn it, Sergeant! You're more badass than I am. You keep killing
Why-
these people.
Why do they keep showing up?
I wish these guys would get names.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's get to a high start and see if we can't stealth our way. Not that high start though.
Yeah, seeing that broken sword has just reminded me that as a culture we don't seem to be able to make our minds up how we feel about Templars. Like, are they the bad guys or are they the good guys? There's the, well, they were really powerful and wealthy, they must be the bad guys crowd, and then there's the, they were all murdered by a French king, therefore they must be good guys crowd.
Weren't they murdered by the church?
No, no, it was a king.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
murdered
but
by
wasn't.
Philip the Fair.
Yeah, but no wait. Didn't he do it for the church? Because the church couldn't actually touch them at that point.
I'm pretty sure he had their blessing, but I'm still pretty sure it was mostly on his own power.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up. Give me a second to finish basting this hexagon, and I'll be with you on that.
Okay. I just feel like it was the church, or he.
No, it was
they-
definitely the king of France.
Huh.
Might have been the Holy Roman Emperor. Was he just the king of France?
I need a good angle to shoot that devil.
It's time! Even I'm getting tired of this. Let's get it over with.
Sick burn, Nazu. Even I'm getting tired of this.
Oh come on! I like how I like how they're that you can fight on top of really tall buildings, because this fight seems really frantic. Like you're both trying to get each other out over the ledge, or at least you are. I do like that.
Don't let him nut you again.
Do it! Damn it! Come back! I miss him already.
He's so Marku. My
Yeah.
child's son.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if Marku's around on the map at all. No, just dull look of a worm. I think I'm gonna do one more story quest then, and then we'll leave it there for the night. Okay, let's go see the stupid sexy spider.
Ugh.
I'm gonna look up to see if Philip was working on his own or what. Okay, the Templars were closely tied to the Crusades. When the Holy Land was lost, support for the Order faded. Rumours about the Templars' secret initiation ceremony created distrust, and Philip IV of France, deeply in debt to the Order, took advantage of the situation to gain control over them. In 1307, he had many of the Order's members in France arrested, tortured into giving false confessions, and burned at the stake. Pope Clement V disbanded the Order in 1312 under pressure from King Philip.
God damn it, King Philip. Oh, hey, Gollum.
Did he just get tossed into a wall?
Yeah, it seems that way.
It's only a flesh wound.
Why would you save me?
I wasn't talking to you, stupid ranger.
He is working for the spider.
No. The Dark Mistress watches over Gollum. Gollum watches over Black Master. Black Master heals the Dark Lord.
And the spider moves the string.
You know, Gollum in that model looks like one of the ghouls.
Yeah.
He looks even he looks off model. Oh my! What's he do to you, Gollum?
Gollum, shouldn't you be in a cave in Mirkwood?
Is that where he lives?
Yeah.
Or is that where he should be at this point?
I mean, it's where he really should be.
Maybe he's just been contracted.
Oh, although actually, no, it's maybe after The Hobbit. In which case, I suppose he has a reason to be elsewhere.
I find it really hard to keep track of when these things take place because the time frames are so fucking long.
That is yet to be seen.
I know why you're here.
Return to your stone.
Silence, Ringmaker. You forget yourself. Stone. You begged me to help. And what have you done?
I'm here for Mina's evil.
You seek to save it. Even though it may already be lost.
There must be a way. There's truth in your vision.
Talion, your face is so dumb. And Sheila, you are so unsexy. God damn.
She should have been a spider. In
Yeah.
like a cocktail dress.
Here is your truth.
I heard that the voice actor for Sheila said something about Talion ending up seeing her as a mother figure.
Yeah.
It's like, ah.
Neutral. She dies.
And you will pass before Sauron is defeated.
This knowledge can guide our hand if we kill this assassin.
Idril?
Perhaps this future will not come to pass.
Yeah, she's a girl who showed up earlier. Well, a woman.
Yeah,
Not shift the tide of war.
I know who she is, but I didn't think her name was actually Idril. What are you drilling, dear?
You finding precious? For the Bright Lord. We go to kill it otherwise. We'll find the nasty assassin.
The assassin must be stopped. Gollum, you know where to find him?
Yes, we recognized his curved blade.
An organ.
Yes, stab, stab, stabbing all the war chief's bodyguards.
If we find him with the bodyguards he's targeting, we'll find the assassin.
The first one is near. This way.
Watch out for spiders indeed. Do not like spiders.
What are those orcs doing?
You're afraid, just like the captain and me. I'm not afraid. Stand up for the rest.
Earlier you said you recognized the assassin's code. So you can see Sheila's visions.
What is this? CSI Mordor?
Mid-Mordor's murders. No, Midsummer Mordors.
I'd watch that.
Talion standing over an assassin's body. I guess he was Mordored. Yeah! Dun, dun.
Who are you? I think they stopped doing spin-offs because they ran out of the Who songs.
Yeah, okay, no, you can't borrow any more songs from us. Damn it!
Well, they were all thematic, weren't they? The first one was Who Are You, and then the second one was We Won't Be Fooled Again, and then by the time CSI New York came around, it was much more tangential than the first two.
What? Climbing?
No, how did they manage to walk up there like a normal person? This is some totally spy shit right there.
This kill happened more recently than that.
We are getting closer.
Golem should know where the next target is. I found another Uruk. He hasn't been dead long. Closer.
Closer and closer. We will teach you to make the next run this. Stupid orcs has never seen Golem. This is around. We hear so many. Orcs are coming. Right?
So, are there lady orcs? I've never been clear on this.
No. I don't think we need one. So, I don't think we need them.
Yeah. I assume. I mean, the Uruk-hai have to. Like, actually, the Uruk-hai might come from human woman.
I thought they were made out of mud or some shit. Was that just in the films?
That's only some of them, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Something I'll have to look up.
Some of them are made from corrupt elves. I know that.
Yeah, like original flavour orcs were corrupted elves, so orcs are presumably immortal.
But that looked so funny. It looked like there was double speed on your stabbing him. It just looks so funny.
It does kind of look like Talion should just be going die, 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 die.
Yes.
Again, how did you walk directly up this sheer ledge?
What just happened? What blew up?
I don't know.
If this will still lives, let's find out what he knows.
Are you telling me that guy's phobic of flies? I mean, I can relate. I fear moths.
Those flies are pretty nasty.
Oh, he looks pretty cool.
Oh, shit, I don't have any arrows.
So, how did you die today? Forgot my arrows. So, what's the story on? Because they get separated at the start. Or they are separate at the start, aren't they?
They got separated at the start, and then Sheila was like, and then Talion was like, no, my boyfriend, and then Shelob's like, give me the ring, and Talion's like, yeah, sure, for my boyfriend, and then Thingy's just, ghost boyfriend's just like, no, why the fuck did you do that? And Talion's like, oh, don't worry, we'll get it back, it'll be fine.
And then Sheila was like, he said that Celebrimbor was his boyfriend, but Celebrimbor ghost.
I get why Helob the spider left you, Shelob. You have no sense of romance.
Okay, I think we are going to leave things there for today. We have no skill points to spend. So, yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I will stream again at some point, I haven't decided when yet. But
I'll stream at some point too. I haven't decided either.
cool beans, cool beans. Okay, and we'll see you then. Bye.